Hello everybody and welcome to the Kansas Speedway for the 2006 Banquet Foods 400 and the 30th race for our 2006 and 2003 season. Kyle Busch and Jimmie Johnson, the Hendrick Motorsports teammates, lead us to the green flag as we are underway here in the Heartland. Who is going to win it here in Kansas as Jimmie Johnson and Kyle Busch battle for the lead so far? Kyle Busch out to the early advantage, but don't count out Tony Stewart in the 20 on the inside, and Stewart surges his way into the race lead. Of course, Tony Stewart won the spring race here, trying to go for the season sweep in Kansas as Tony Stewart leads the opening lap of racing here in the Banquet 400 in Kansas. But on lap 7, here comes the 07 of Clint Bowyer, the rookie from nearby Emporia, Kansas, once again having a strong car here at his home track, right to the inside of Tony Stewart. Clint Bowyer will go, and Bowyer takes the lead on lap 8 here in Kansas at his home racetrack for the first time today. So Bowyer in the lead, and then just cautions come out because the 14 of Sterling Marlin has crashed. He will still be in the race, though. Travis Quaffle is actually out due to a piston failure, so Quaffle will finish in 42nd and last place here today as Bowyer and Jimmie Johnson led us back to the green flag. Clint Bowyer easily clearing the 48 for the race lead with Tony Stewart in second. And how about Brian Vickers in third place? So Clint Bowyer having a great start to this race out here leading, but now here comes Vickers on the outside as all your leaders are stuck behind the lap traffic of Robby Gordon, Kenny Wallace, and Michael Waltrip. And Brian Vickers is going to take advantage in the number 25. And Brian Vickers takes the lead here in Kansas on lap 36 here, but that did not last very long. His teammate, the 48 Jimmie Johnson, the following lap right to the inside of Vickers, who is held up by the 78 of Kenny Wallace for Furniture Row Racing. And now the 48 of Jimmie Johnson surges back to the race lead. The 48 finally having a race where he can contend for the win here in this chase for the Cup, trying to retake that championship lead away from his teammate of Jeff Gordon as Jimmie Johnson leads in Kansas. Now here we go on lap 41. Here comes last episode's winner from Dover, Jeff Burton in the 31. Burton having a really strong day today, trying to get back-to-back race wins and have a ton of momentum through the midpoint of this chase. And Jeff Burton surges into the race lead here in Kansas. He blows Jimmie Johnson's doors off right there in turns 1 and 2. And Burton away with the lead, but just 3 laps later, Johnson right back to the inside of Jeff Burton. Tony Stewart in the catbird seat in third. Some phenomenal racing so far for the lead here in Kansas. Jeff Burton on the outside, Jimmie Johnson on the inside. And the 48 will once again take the race lead. Jimmie Johnson in control here in Kansas. He takes the lead away from Jeff Burton. 48 car so strong in this race. Now on lap 50, here comes Clint Bowyer once again, the rookie from Emporia, to the inside of Jimmie Johnson using David Stremme as a pick. Is it going to work? Looks like it is. And Clint Bowyer back to the front once again here in Kansas as he goes by the 48 with help from Tony Stewart. Don't count out the 8, your 2004 champion, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the conversation now here in Kansas. He's there in third place right in the mix. Now here comes Tony Stewart right back to the inside of Clint Bowyer, and Tony Stewart wants the lead. Can he wrench it away? Not quite. Bowyer hangs on, but now Stewart makes it 3 wide with the lap car, and McMurray for the lead here on lap 55. With about 20 to go in this stage, Tony Stewart to the inside takes the lead away from Clint Bowyer, helping with some help there. Sterling Marlin as a pick, and Tony Stewart leads the way here in Kansas. And now on the lap 59, Stewart into the pit lane. Your leaders are in. That slides out to lead to Dale Jr. and Kyle Busch, who then pit later that lap. So Busch and Jr. in the green flag pit stop cycle, continuing to cycle on through here with about 15 to go in the stage. That should now cycle things out to the 88 of Dale Jarrett as Kevin Harvick comes down pit road. Now Jarrett comes in the ensuing lap, and that will give the lead over to your championship leader of Jeff Gordon in the 24. Who, of course, has had a phenomenal start to the chase with that big win in California. The caution has come out here on lap 63. Exactly what Jeff Gordon was hoping for. Jamie McMurray blows an engine in the middle of turns 1 and 2. And the Roush driver will be out of this race. McMurray is done. now completely shake up the running order with a caution in the middle of the pit cycle. So McMurray will DNF in 41st, and now it is Tony Stewart and Jeff Burton, our leaders, as we get back underway here. Going to be with just 8 laps to go in stage 1. Jeff Burton, Tony Stewart. How about the 48 of Jimmie Johnson to the inside? 3 wide for the lead. Here comes the 48. What a move and a blinding restart by Jimmie Johnson. He flies his way into the race lead right past both Burton and Stewart, and the 48 is gone. Jimmie Johnson driving away to the stage 1 win here, away from Clint Bowyer after an unbelievable restart. And here we are. Jimmie Johnson is going to win stage 1 with that tremendous pass. His 8th stage win of the season. Bowyer, Burton, Kyle Busch, and Vickers the top 5, followed by Junior, Tony Stewart, Mark Martin, Martin Truex, and Casey Mears the top 10. So Jimmie Johnson picks up the stage 1 win, his 8th of this season, racking up the stage wins as we approach the season finale in Homestead. So that with that stage points there, Jimmie Johnson now is going to be 1 point behind Jeff Gordon for the championship lead. Now the order was shaken up on this restart. So now it's the 37 of Bill Elliott leading the field here in Kansas over Jeff Gordon, Jeff Burton, and Joe Nemechek. A wild turn of events here as the order all shaken up. But how about Bill Elliott? The old man still got it, leading some last year. Kansas in trouble, big crash into turn 1. Bobby Labonte and Robby Gordon as Dave Blaney hooks the 43 of Bobby Labonte, crashes hard right into Robby Gordon, who had nowhere to go. Both guys crash hard to the outside wall and bring out the caution once again here early in stage 2. A wild one here in Kansas so far. But Jimmie Johnson still's been the best car. Harvick able to unlap himself, and Jimmie Johnson almost gets the lead at the line, but it will still be the 37 of Bill Elliott. Now they pit, and that cycles the lead over down to Clint Bowyer and Jeff Green in the 66 for Haas Racing. Quite the interesting lineup here at the front. You got Scott Riggs, Elliott Sadler, everything all jumbled up. Going to be a wild restart. Everybody jockeying for position throughout the pack. But so far, Clint Bowyer has gotten out ahead as your race leader. They're 3 wide back here with the Hendrick teammates Jeff Gordon and Kyle Busch. They managed to sort that out as the 66 continues to drop back through this pack. But Clint Bowyer leads the way here in Kansas on this restart midway through stage 2. And now on lap 99, here comes the 48 of Jimmie Johnson to the inside of Clint Bowyer. Your stage 1 winner takes advantage of the lap car Robby Gordon and gets right back to the front of the field, zooming by Clint Bowyer. And this is absolutely Jimmie Johnson's race to lose today here in Kansas. He seems to have the fastest car. Now Johnson in for his scheduled green flag stop here at the end of stage 2 on lap 146. Johnson, others have come in. That will give the lead right now to the 31 of Jeff Burton, of course, who's looking for his 2nd win in a row and 3rd on the season. But the caution has come out on the racetrack right in the middle of the pit cycle for a massive crash in turn 3. All started by Greg Biffle turning Dale Jarrett hard into the outside wall. Jarrett slides down the track and gets absolutely walloped by Michael Waltrip and David Stremme. A hard crash. Going to take out Waltrip, Jarrett, and Stremme out of this race. And a lot of good cars are trapped a lap down after that incident. It'll be Jimmie Johnson and Clint Bowyer bringing us back to the green here with about 13-14 laps to go in stage 2. And Clint Bowyer and Kyle Busch are trying to unlap themselves, as they were actually guys who ended up being trapped 1 lap down because of that caution coming out during the pit cycle. So Jimmie Johnson is your race leader pretty comfortably here on this restart. A lot of guys trying to get themselves back in the game here who are trapped to the right now. There's only like legit 3 cars on the lead lap. Johnson, Burton, and Mark Martin, or Dale Jr. rather, as Jimmie Johnson makes his way through turn 4, and the 48 will sweep the stages here in Kansas. Jimmie Johnson wins stage 2 in dominating fashion, followed by Jeff Burton and Dale Jr. the top 3 on the lead lap. Then Kyle Busch, Clint Bowyer the top 5, Casey Mears, Tony Stewart, Carl Edwards, Brian Vickers, and Mark Martin the top 10. So Jimmie Johnson now picks up his 8th and 9th stage wins of the season today in Kansas and retakes the championship lead for the time being as we get back underway here in this 3rd and final stage of racing with just 97 laps to go. So does Jimmie Johnson and Jeff Burton once again on the front row here in Kansas City. It's the green flag, but here comes the 8 of Dale Earnhardt Jr., your Daytona 500 and 2004 champion, surges his way to the race lead, and Earnhardt Jr. takes the lead here in Kansas as the crowd goes absolutely nuts. Carl Edwards working his way into the mix here in the 99, trying to unlap himself, who's had a pretty solid last couple of races here in this chase for the Cup, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads the way here in Kansas on lap 172, but now we have a caution about 10 laps later that puts Carl Edwards and Tony Stewart on the lead lap, and the 48 of Jimmie Johnson will now get back to the race lead easily, beating Earnhardt Jr. on the restart, and the 48 continues to dominate this race. Jimmie Johnson, Chad Canales, Hendrick Motorsports right now just seem like they are the team to beat for this championship, and it's going to be hard to do here. Jeff Gordon seemed to have been the only one to be able to come close, but it's the 48 now trying to hold off Jeff Burton, who's charging on the inside lane for RCR here on lap 185, and Jeff Burton drives his way to the race lead, the 31 to the point here in Kansas. Jeff Burton to the lead once again, trying to go back-to-back with race wins. He leads the way, but then a caution would come out right as Jeff Burton was dominating this race. So we have a restart here with just 32 laps to go. Dale Jr., Tony Stewart, the front row for this restart. Johnson, Burton, Edwards, Bowyer on the lead lap have a lot of work to do to get back in the game, but Tony Stewart takes the lead away from Dale Jr. here in Kansas as Tony Stewart looks to get his second win in a row here in Kansas to sweep the season in these races and put himself at least closer to the championship battle here as Tony Stewart leads with just 31 laps to go in Kansas over Dale Earnhardt Jr. in this crucial chase race. And the 31 of Jeff Burton's come down pit road. The 31 who was in position to win this race, pitting under green, is going to cost him a lap to the leaders. What is Jeff Burton doing? A caution would then come out for a wreck that takes Dave Blaney's number 22 out of this race. He'll end up finishing in 37th place. So now we have another restart with 25 laps to go, and this time Dale Jr. gets the advantage on the restart. He gets ahead of Tony Stewart, and Jr. could be in position to win this race. Jr. has been so impressive the last couple of seasons, of course, winning that championship, that amazing moment in 2004, winning the Daytona 500 this season. Can he get a huge win here in Kansas to keep his championship hopes within reach to go become a two-time champion? We're not sure, as here comes that 20 of Tony Stewart. 23 to go. Tony Stewart right back to the inside of Earnhardt, and Tony Stewart drives his way back into the race lead with just 23 laps to go in the Heartland. Now 4 to go. Tony Stewart continuing to lead, and the caution has come out on the speedway. There has been a crash here with Reed Sorenson, who gets turned by Kevin Harvick in turn 3. And that is what is going to bring us into NASCAR overtime here in Kansas. So it'll be a green, white, checkered finish. Tony Stewart restarting alongside Clint Bowyer as we are underway here in NASCAR overtime here in Kansas. Tony Stewart with a tremendous restart gets a huge jump. Clint Bowyer was caught sleeping, and the rookie once again may have thrown away a shot at winning at his home racetrack, getting that elusive first career win. Bowyer now just trying to hang on to positions, but here comes the 48 of Jimmie Johnson into second. Here comes the 48 to the inside. Jimmie Johnson trying to take the lead away from Tony Stewart, coming to the final lap here in Kansas, and the 48 has done it. To the lead goes Jimmie Johnson with another incredible restart. White flag in the air. Final lap presented by Credit One Bank here in Kansas for Jimmie Johnson, who has ripped the lead away and possibly the win away from the hands of Tony Stewart. Carl Edwards waiting in the wings in third. Here comes the 20. Stewart right back to the bumper of the 48 into the inside. Can Tony Stewart reverse the roles on Jimmie Johnson to make a last lap pass? Not quite. The 48 shuts the door on him in turn 3 and through turn 4 for the final time. Jimmie Johnson wins in Kansas. Tony Stewart, Carl Edwards, Dale Jr., Jeff Burton, the top 5. What a finish. Jimmie Johnson picks up his 15th career win, tying him for 42nd on the all-time wins list, leading 98 of 269 laps here in Kansas. The final race results are in the description down below, so don't mind what you see on the left side of your screen. That's not accurate. Final race results are in the description. Now we see updated chase standings after this race. Jimmie Johnson surges his way back with a dominant win, max points on the day to retake the championship lead, 35 points above his teammate of Jeff Gordon. Kyle Busch, the other Hendrick car in the chase, jumps up to third, now 60 behind Jimmie Johnson. Dale Jr., Mark Martin round out the top 5 in points, all more than a race below that championship lead, as is Carl Edwards in 6th, Jeff Burton in 7th, Tony Stewart in 8th, and then Kurt Busch 9th, and Kevin Harvick a ways out at 114 out in 10th of the 10 chase drivers. So right now it is Jimmie Johnson's championship to lose, going to his favorite track, Lowe's Motor Speedway, next episode. Congrats to the 48 on the win here in Kansas. And as we end this episode, as always, I want to give a special shout out to my channel members. So thank you very much to DWR, JJ, Brenda Breen, and Jeremy Isley for your support. I really, really appreciate it. It means a ton to me. Helps this channel and I continue to grow and produce some awesome content. Now on our road towards 2,000 subscribers. So those of you that are watching this video and are not subscribed, please do subscribe. It's completely free. It only takes a couple of seconds, and I would really, really appreciate it. If you want to get a shout out here at the end of the video, just like these four, and become a paid channel member, link for that is down in the description down below. Until next episode, I hope you all have a good one.